Hello, everybody. This is Sean Frederick here, coming to you with the next episode of Growth Beyond Limits, the podcast for leaders. We believe in leadership. The podcast focuses on discussing leadership experiences from real leaders in various industries and sectors. We encourage transparent discussion that allows our listeners and viewers to be more successful in their own leadership journey. No theory, no guesses, no nonsense, just leadership that works. So today, we're really fortunate to be able to talk with one of those leaders. I'm going to introduce Lucy Rios. She's a dental practice manager with years of experience. And Lucy, thanks for joining us. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you for having me. I work for a private nonprofit organization, Public Health, that provides dental care to the underserved population. And I have been doing this for a total of 28 years, and I love it. I love it. It's my passion to help those who that are in need.
Okay. It's really important to have people that are committed to serving others, especially in our community. For our listeners who may not have caught the first episode, you may not know that for a brief period in my leadership journey, I was also a medical and dental practice manager and really spent some time serving the community and those who often in our society need help the most. So just to jump right into the topic, this episode is on motivation and leadership. Lucy, how important is motivation when leading large groups of people?
Well, it's extremely important. As a leader, you need to set the example, and people look to you for guidance and structure. So I feel it's really important.
Okay. So what have been some of the ways that you have gone about motivating individuals and teams in your leadership journey?
So I feel that rewarding performance, verbal gratitude, celebrating achievement and successes, that goes a long way. Just a simple thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here today.
So is it fair to say that in essence, just the basic tenets of being nice or recognizing people's job accomplishments or recognizing their effort in their day-to-day lives is important to keep people motivated?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm very competitive, so competition and rewards go a long way with the team, especially when they're competing against each other. That not only is that rewarding, but it's also fun. And you have to make it fun because it is a hard job that they do every single day.
I like that. I've often said work should be fun. In fact, just the other day, doing some of the basic activities of life, I was in the grocery store and there were multiple people there, and the cashier was joking around with somebody that happened to be there, telling jokes and telling stories. And they apologized because they were slowing down their own line when I said, work's supposed to be fun. And it was a great conversation. So I have a question. Do you have a favorite strategy that you like to use to motivate people?
I do. Like I said before, I touched on it a little bit, is I myself am very competitive. So that competitive goes out into my team as well and setting goals,
Setting goals.
making it a game, perhaps, and then rewarding. Rewarding is huge. So if they meet their goals, reward them, verbally give them the gratitude that they ask for.
Okay. So how do you know what are some of the keys that you use to know as a practice manager that you're successfully motivating your staff to accomplish the mission? Like how do you know that your recognition, the tools that you're provided that you're using, how do you know that those things are actually working?
Because of the positive outcomes that comes out of the day-to-day work that we do. At the end of the day, you're gonna see that positive outcome, and you're gonna be able to celebrate those achievements and successes.
Do you set aside time? It's been a practice of mine in all of my staff meetings. I always start with an area that I call celebrations. It was something that I learned at a previous job, not where I currently work, but it's really I use it as an opportunity to encourage staff to highlight the achievements and accomplishments of everybody else. Do you have any set aside time or activity that you use to allow staff to engage with each other?
Whenever possible, I like to do it every day. Every day, if I get an opportunity to do so, giving people a pat on the back is huge and it goes a long way because they will always remember how you made them feel, not about what you said. It's how you made them feel. But typically, we have site meetings and we will discuss our achievements, we'll celebrate our achievements and successes, and we'll talk about new goals. And, we just celebrate everyone, not just those that actually met the goal, but we celebrate everyone because everyone tries hard. And it's important to know that you care. And as a manager, that you're noticing this, even though it's not achieved, you still notice that they tried.
Okay. Before I go to the last couple of questions, the thought that comes up to me is that even when you try to keep people motivated, or you're focused on having a motivated staff, in every industry, in every business, there are times where things go sideways. In those instances, is there anything that you would do differently to keep people motivated, to make sure that the team was resilient to whatever that adverse situation was, be it a financial issue, be it loss of a staff member, or retirements, or staffing shortages, or any of the normal things that have to be traversed when you're leading a team or a group in the workplace?
Well, absolutely. There's not going to be a perfect day. There are times when things are going to happen. What I like to tell my staff is, you know what, tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another day. Let's put this day behind us and let's move forward. Let's just continue to move forward. Let's not dwell on what just happened. That is now the past. Let's just continue to move forward.
So you like to keep people focused on the big picture and moving forward, what some people might call a North Star. Okay, that's good to know. I think that's really important. And that's really important for our new leaders, which will sort of take me to the next question. It's a great transition point. So if you're a new leader out there, listen up. This one is important. For new medical or dental practice managers, or leaders in general, what tips, Lucy, would you offer to help them be successful in their own leadership journey?
I would say listening and giving importance to each individual employee that you manage. Earn their respect. Once you earn their respect, you have to earn their trust. Once you earn their trust, they'll do anything for you. And, they know that as a manager, you will always be there to listen and to help them move forward into their career.
Okay. So really, my last question really is just an opportunity. I would ask you, Lucy, if you'd like to offer any final thoughts on leadership or motivation or resilience.
Managing isn't easy. Managing is hard. You were faced with situations not only with whatever business you're in, whether it be retail, whether it be healthcare, there's going to be situations that come up that you're going to have to deal with. So managing is very difficult because your world is this big and their world is this big. So you have to remember that they're going to come into your world, and you're going to have to prioritize that world and help them move forward in whatever issue that they're having. And then you just have to move from one person to the next and build that team so that the trust is there and the respect is there.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you making the time to join us today on Growth Beyond Limits, the podcast for leaders. I want to wish you continued success in your leadership journey. And thanks to all the listeners and viewers who keep coming back to take in new content. Growth Beyond Limits is growing because of your continued connection. I also want to invite everyone to follow Frederick Solutions LLC, either on YouTube or LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, for new written content, and the Growth Beyond Limits newsletter, which is available on LinkedIn. A reminder to subscribe to the Growth Beyond Limits podcast on any of the major podcasting platforms. And with that, thanks again, everybody, for being a part of this. And we will see you next time on Growth Beyond Limits, the podcast for leaders. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.